only roughly 30 notes, but there's a lot of cool stuff going on there. Today I'm going to be walking you through that particular lick from the guitar solo from Let's Live It Up by Brian Setzer. So before we dive straight into that, I just quickly want to mention it's worth jumping on my Patreon to get material on other lessons that will help you understand what's going on here, and I'm going to have plenty of lessons to come. So check it out. But you'll notice today I actually included the transcription just in the video there. So that's not something I do a lot, but something I wanted to do for this particular lesson because it's such a juicy bit of guitar playing. So in today's lesson, what I'll do, I'll show you how to play it. I'm going to show you the chords that it goes over, and I'm going to talk about the theory behind what he's actually playing. Brian Setzer is obviously a very educated guitar player, so we want to have a look at what he's doing and what stuff he's using. So guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the bell, all that stuff. Leave a comment, talk to me, hit the comments. It's so quiet in the comments section. Why is that? Am I not eliciting a response from you? Am I boring? Sorry, probably. I just quickly want to thank my latest Patreons, Chris Georgiev and Steve Brassington. Guys, thank you so much for joining. If you are interested in joining the Patreon, check it out. There'll be a link below. And so the first thing we need to do to understand how Brian Setzer crafted this, beautiful passage that clearly follows the chords is we need to understand what the chords are. So, not overly complicated at this point. The chords for this passage would go something along these lines. So it's a B flat and an F7, and it's just bouncing between those two chords, which is almost more impressive when you think about just how intricate that lead line sounds over just the two chords. So we're playing a B flat. Well, it's a B flat, okay, and an F7. But there's a very specific way I would play it to meet this style. I would play a B flat 6, in fact, so 6th fret on the 6th string, 5th fret on the 4th string, and my pinky's going to play the 7th fret on the 3rd string, just like that. Okay, so we strum that twice, and we block off that 5th string, so we get that percussive sound. Alright, so we strum that twice, and now we do an F7, so I want you to think of a C7, but we're going to play that up at the 8th fret. And just to give it that nice old school swing sound, I'm actually not going to play the F, I'm going to play the 8th fret on the 6th string, just like that. Okay, so 8th fret on the 6th string, 7th on the 4th, 8th on the 3rd, and I've got my first finger there on the F up here on the 2nd string, but we don't really even need that. That's going to do the job, and I think get you very close to something Brian Setzer might play if he was comping over that, accompanying that. Comping is just another word for accompanying. Anyhow, so with that said, knowing that we're playing a B flat and an F7, more or less, okay, we can start to understand the note choices based on those chords. So a D, a B flat, and a G. They're our first three notes. Now, even if you're not theoretically versed with music, just sit along for the ride, have a bit of a listen, you'll pick stuff up. The more you listen to this stuff, the more the lingo will make sense and things will apply. Don't stress if you don't fully understand. Just come along for the ride. See what you think. You're going to learn how to play it anyway, so that's going to be kind of fun. So we've got the D here, the B flat here, and the G here. Now these three notes actually represent a G minor arpeggio. And you say, well, what good is that against a B flat? Actually, it's great against a B flat because when we play a basic G minor arpeggio over a B flat, it becomes a B flat 6 chord. What did I do up here? I wanted a B flat 6 chord, and I go to that because that's what I hear, and that's really common for the style. But there's two ways you could think of this. This is either just a G minor 6 arpeggio, or you could really just think of it as a B flat arpeggio because we have a B flat, which is the root degree of a B flat chord, and a D, which is the 3rd degree. And then the G is the 6th degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is. Just put that at the bottom. We have a B flat with another important note at the bottom. Not a core note of a chord, but a great note nonetheless. Think of it as what we would call an extension, so the 6th degree. Okay, so that's what's happening there. It's basically playing a B flat 6 arpeggio descending. The next thing that happens is we play this lick here. 10 to the 11, to the 10 on the 2nd string, to the 13 on the 2nd string, and then we play the 11 on the 1st string, and we do a pull off back to the 10th fret on the 1st string. So this lick here, So we come off the here. So this is actually, think of it as we're playing the F, still from the B flat chord, you could think, really. And what we're actually doing here is we're rolling into the F sharp, A, C, and E flat. Now that is just an F sharp diminished scale. Okay, so what's actually happening there is the chord is an F7, as I mentioned before, and we're playing an F sharp diminished. Why? Well, when we do this, what we actually get is, think of F now as our root note, okay? I did mention we could think of that as part of our B flat chord, but we could also think of it as the, part of our F7 chord. But this is our root note of F, of the F chord. It's an F. And then we play what we call a flat 9, okay, which is the second degree flattened. So the second degree would be a G, we're flattened. So we call that a flat 9. We call it a 9 because in the major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the root note. Okay. I think I played something wrong there. No. Yeah, no, that's right. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Think of that as our 9 now. We've flattened it. So this is why we call it a flat 9. Why we can also call it a flat 9. So there's the F sharp. Here's the A, which is just the third degree of an F chord. The C, which is the fifth degree of an F chord. And the E flat, which is the flat 7, and gives it that jazzy kind of sound, okay? I can just play a regular F chord with the E flat at the bottom. Add the F sharp to that, and we have an F7 flat 9. Sorry, an F7 flat 9. But when we play from the F sharp with the diminished scale, we hit all those tones. We hit the F sharp, the flat 9. We hit the A, which is the major third of the F. We hit the C, which is the 5. And we hit the E flat, which is the flat 7. So that lick there goes into an F sharp diminished, which actually gives us an F7 flat 9. I know it's pretty hard to follow and it's pretty wild, but guys, the tip is on any dominant 7 chord, you can go up one semitone from the root note and play a diminished scale, and it will do exactly what's happening there. It's a very common jazz function, and Brian Setzer, he learnt this from a teacher for sure. Someone taught him this stuff. This is not something you're born doing, unless maybe you're Django Reinhardt. But, having said that, some of these guys, they have an amazing ear, and that, they may intuitively come across this stuff. But to me, this looks extremely educated, which is just fantastic. So I'll continue on. So after we do the F sharp diminished lick, we play that 11th fret. We actually just come back to the D here, then the 11 on the 12th string, and then the 10th fret on the 3rd string. That's just a B flat major, okay? Just a nice B flat major, like a D major style. So we're on the B flat chord. Then we play the diminished, F sharp diminished, and we're just back into a B flat chord. Now, what we do is we repeat that lick back 3 frets. 1, 2, 3. We do the same lick as before. So we go 7, 8, or D into the E flat, to the F sharp, to the A. Then we play the C there on the 8th fret of the 1st string. It's the exact same lick, but moved back 3 steps. This is because the diminished scale actually is what we call a symmetrical pattern, because it continues in minor thirds. So obviously we're not playing off the F, we're playing off the F sharp, but by moving in 3 frets steps, like 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, we're actually getting that diminished scale. That means any lick that you make using that scale, you can actually just move it up 3 frets or down 3 frets. So that lick is all this basically within the diminished scale, which is really, really cool. So that's what he's done. It's very, very clever, very useful device. So same lick as before. And then, so it's an F sharp diminished or an F7 flat 9 idea. Then we come back to the B flat. And that, again, just a B flat arpeggio, a basic B flat arpeggio. B flat, F, D, and B flat. Now what we do here gets definitely a little bit more complicated. We move up to the B, we play the 9th fret, the 7, roll into the 8 just like that, so, and then we play the 7th fret there. That, guys, is a lick over a B natural now, okay, B major, not B flat. Why? Well, there's a great jazz trick where we take a dominant 7 chord and we play, we substitute it with, well, we do what's called a tritone substitution. The tritone is the note that we find when we move up 3 tones. So F to G to A to B. B is the tritone of F. When we play a dominant 7 off the tritone of a dominant 7 chord. So for example, if we play from an F7 and then we play a dominant 7 off of the tritone of that chord, being a B in this case, so the tritone of F, so we're going to play a B7, okay, what we get is almost the same chord, except one different note. So check this out. This is an F7, we've got an F, we've got an A, and we've got an E flat. I had to think about that. When we play a B7, we get a B, an A, and a D sharp, which is just an E flat as well. It's the same thing. So by doing this, by playing a B7 over an F7, we're getting 2 crucial notes. We're getting the A from the F7 and the E flat, which is the 3rd and the 7, or flat 7. But they just switch around. Against the B, they become the flat 7 and the major 3rd. They switched over for, you know, the relationship with the root note that we were using. So it's like playing an F7 with a B, and that creates a beautiful tension to the 6th fret, to the B flat that we're heading to anyway. So F7, B7, back to a B flat 6. So I know it's a lot to absorb. Don't overthink it. Yeah, I guess just don't overthink it. It is what it is. Take it that way. Take that information, see if you can reapply it. So that's that little passage. That's why a B flat appears there. You could also just look at it in this simple way of, okay, well, if we're playing an F7 to a B flat, another way we can create tension to a B flat is just to play something in B and then slide down, you know. That's kind of what's happening there. So after we do that 9, 7, 8, 7 slide back, we actually slide back and do a hammer on straight away. It's very nice. I like that. Okay, so we're on the F now, and all we do here is keep going down that B flat arpeggio, the F, the D, the B flat, and then we chromatically walk down to the 7th degree, or the flat 7th degree of the B flat, and then we play the major 3rd of the B flat. So again, it's all about chord tones. This whole solo is about chord tones. Okay, oh, that's just major, and then the diminished arpeggio, chord tones. You know, like I said, when we do that over the F7, we get the flat 9, we get the 3rd, the 5th, and the flat 7 of an F7. So all about chord tones. Except here, maybe that's kind of, well, it's just an arpeggio as well. So that's it, guys. That's everything that happens in just 4 bars of music over just 2 chords. But you can see it's extremely educated. This isn't guesswork. I don't know much about Brian Setzer's education in terms of music. I haven't read any particular articles where he's spoken at depth about who his teachers were or what they taught him. But I can tell you from looking at this, he really knows what he's talking about. And I think he spends a lot of time developing these ideas, you know, and you can tell because they sound really good. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Make sure you leave a comment and let me know what you think. Don't forget to, you know, hit the bell and like and all that stuff. And check out the Patreon if you're interested. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll see you in the next one.